up, everybody? This is Kiki coming to you today with love, peace, and to send positivity your way. Hope your day is off to a good start. I decided to get out the house and get some fresh air. Sometimes when my mind starts racing and a whole lot of things I need to do start to kind of crowd on me, I have to sometimes de-stress by going out into nature. So unfortunately, I thought I was gonna hang out with my trees today, and no, I'm not talking about my marijuana. I'm not even on that. I like to just connect with the tree so I can feel the energy and kind of regroup and go into thought and use that as my guidance. That is my way of connecting with my ancestors, and that is through the energy from the living trees and plants and water that exist and keeps us going as well. So I went over to the grocery store and grabbed me some fruit. I was craving a mango today. So as I chat with you a little bit, join me as I devour this nice cold mango. It's been a little minute since I had one. The crazy thing about it is when I was in the store in the line, the cashier was trying to figure out what the name of this fruit is. She had to ask other people, what is this, in order to know how to ring it up. And I'm like, I asked her, I said, are you from here? Because Florida, this is like the main fruit. Other than oranges, this is like a big deal in Florida, and also bananas too. But come to find out, she is not from Florida. She is from Alabama, Gracefield. So I'm still shocked she didn't know the name. So I'm going to see if I can cut this carefully without adding my finger to it. So, tell me, how's everybody doing out there? How's life treating you? How is the weather over in your side of the town? And what do you do when you need to de-stress? What are some healthy ideas I can probably use and incorporate in my world? Please share. Because it seems like life is always lifing and throwing us all types of challenges. And we just got to be ready for it. I'm trying not to get the seed, but it doesn't want to cooperate with me. Yeah, I think I got all of that off. So if I get a little messy while I eat this mango, y'all have to excuse me. It's about to get real nice and juicy. Yeah, and it's hitting the spot just right. It's soft, it's not too hard and crunchy. Yeah, I got a big one, a good one. That's what I meant, a good one. All right. Yeah, when you're a Southern chick, you can't go in eating a fruit like this cute. Whenever you cut up your mango, don't forget to get the extra excess off the flesh. Definitely got to clear that off too. All right, let's test this out. I cut it up. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Probably should have brought a fork. And it's peeling off nice. So I just finished. So I'm back. I'm just now finishing up my my tongue wrestling with my mango, and I think I'm going to plant it and try to see if I can grow the seed. And when I thought about it, it made me come up with another idea about life. And I'm a very deep thinker, and I'm always comparing our way of living to the way the earth is around us, the way the planet operates and things like that. So this is just a little message that came to my mind, and I kind of got in my teaching mode. So I got my little board that I'm going to be writing on. And if you would like to take notes, that's up to you. This may be information you already know. This may be new to you. And whatever the case is, I hope that it is beneficial for you. So let's say you have been given the gift of a seed. The Most High, or whoever you believe in, gave you a gift. This is a special gift of a seed that you have to know how to grow. And we'll just say maybe the seed is planted within yourself, right? So we'll just say you're the seed. So here is, and y'all gotta excuse my crazy drawing, but and hopefully it doesn't show backwards, because I know, hopefully you can understand it. So there's the seed. And of course, you know, in order for the seed to start its growing process, it needs to be planted inside of soil. So there's the seed inside the soil. Now, while the seed is inside of the soil, you are given tools to help the seed grow, right? So God of the Most High gave you water, gave you warm temp, which is warm temperatures. What else we need to plant our seed? Gave us space to grow, and water, warm temperatures, space, and we'll just say a safe space. And also, we'll tie the warm temperature in with the sun. Light. Okay. So these are the keys to the seed being prosperous. Water, warm temperature, which is also derived from the sunlight, and space to grow. And I am so sorry if this is showing backwards and it's not the best handwriting, but just listen to my words if you can't really read it well. I haven't figured out how to use the feature on this app to know how to switch my words around so you can see it. And if maybe I might just rewrite it up in the editing app part, so we'll see. Now, you are set up. You have been placed on this planet with all the tools you need. You have all the things you need to grow to be prosperous. However, you may run into a situation where you are faced with challenges. So we're going to take those main important tools and we're going to say the tools have been compromised by either demonic forces or other negative entities that want to interrupt your growth. So now, this is what you got to figure out how to maneuver and fight through in order to make it. Now, the seed is protected. The seed is protected because, the seed is a special, unique seed where, it is covered by the Most High. So, and that's what he tries. That's what it's done. That's what's done with all the seeds, right? But say if somebody come in, and I'll just write it out first and then I'll show it to you. They take the water and contaminate it with maybe chemicals, unhealthy chemicals, right? And the temperatures, instead of being nice, warm sunlight, now we have we'll just say imbalance of the temperature. So 1 minute is freezing cold. It's not consistent. So inconsistent temperatures. Stay with me. I know this seems like you're in a science class, but trust me, it's gonna fulfill your soul. Just hang in there. All right. So the warm temperatures is now inconsistent. 1 minute is freezing cold. The next minute is super, super hot. And then the next minute is warm. So it's all over the place with the temperature. And then the space is becoming overcrowded, maybe with weeds. So overcrowded with weed plants. Now, weed plants are known to also be a benefit to some plants, but if it's just too much and healthy for that seed to grow and it's sucking up all the nutrients, then that's going to leave the seed stuck in a bind. Now, we're going to take this whole, let me show you before I start running my mouth some more. All right, so hopefully you can see it. Contaminated water with chemicals, inconsistent temperatures, and now the space is crowded around a lot of weeds. Okay? All right, you got it so far. This is what the challenges are for this special seed that's been planted in you, okay? Now, we're going to switch it over to life and the reality of life, okay? So we're going to say the contaminated water is pretty much connected to money, okay? So let's see. Where can I put it? I'll just put it inside of a box and use a different color. No, I'll stay with the same color. So now we're going to say the contaminated water represent money. And we know water is forever flowing, and we know money is considered a currency. So we're just going to use that as, currency as an example. Okay. Now we're going to look at the warm temperatures, and now it's inconsistent temperatures. And so that's going to represent relationships. This is how the divine gave it to me. So that represents relationships. Okay. And so we're going to say the space or the safe space, which also turned into overcrowded weeds and plants and pests. That's all involved in interrupting the flow of the growth of the seed. We're going to say that represent maybe, we'll just say traditions and culture. We'll just put that in. All right. Now, this is kind of how I placed it on the side. So we have the money that ties in with the water because the water is consistently moving. So that's the currency. We have the temperatures as far as relationships. And then we have traditions and culture, right? And so I'm not saying that this is all bad, but I'm just trying to tell you what hinders the growth of the seed that God or the Most High planted in you. What hinders the growth, okay? Stay with me. It's going to all connect together. All right. So if your seed does not have the right foundation, then it would not be able to know how to maneuver around all the challenges of, the contaminated water, the inconsistent temperatures, and being surrounded around pests and weeds, okay? So this is my message to you today, okay? In order for you to blossom into a beautiful plant, whether you're a fruit plant, or whether you're a flower plant or a veggie plant, okay? Because that's what the seed is. The purpose is for the seed to blossom and grow more seeds so it can be spread around the world as much as possible, depending on the climate and the area, okay? Because we already know it's going to be hard to grow a mango seed inside of a desert unless you create the environment for it to happen, like maybe a special type of greenhouse, okay? But I don't want to, get off track, so stay with me. So if you do not protect your seed, because see, it already comes with a protective coating, but it's your job to give it extra protection. And in order for you to do that, it's going to take more than just praying and just waiting. You got to put in the legwork, right? So in order for you to blossom and be successful, it's going to require you to know how to manage your money. You're going to have to know how to not be a slave to your money or not allow your money to run you, but you to run your money, right? So what I mean by that, it's like, yes, we all know we need money to survive in this environment, in this system, because that's the way it was designed. Based on somebody else's idea. It wasn't even our indigenous people idea. We actually was using trades with food and fruit. But because money has replaced that, people will do all types of low vibrational things. And I'll probably write that on the... Can I write that on the back? I don't know if I have room. Let's see if I can... Nope. I ain't gonna be able to write that. People have a habit of doing low vibrational things. Hold on, let me clear my board and then I'll come back to you. All right, so real quick, this is what I put together. So low vibrational represent the contaminated things that prevents the seed from growing. So we have, like I said, the water. What's blocking the water? The contaminated, the chemicals. We're going to say the chemicals represent killing and stealing and dealing. So all of it kind of falls under the same category. If you out here stealing from people, it leads to people fighting for their things and don't want anybody to take it and steal it. And then it also leads to somebody being killed. When you're dealing, like illegally doing something under the table, dealing drugs, most likely the government gonna get mad and jealous because you making money without giving it to them, and then they're gonna try to come after you either with the police or the SWAT team, which also leads back to somebody being either locked up or killed. Okay. Then we got sex. A lot of people misuse sex. They don't have any type of self-control, and it's even worse when they have been exposed to sex at an inappropriate age. So sex can also destroy your way of prospering, because if you're constantly selling your body and letting all types of demonic spirits enter your womb, and it's meaning for the women, and the wand, which is the tarot term for the men, and then it's stunting your growth. If you're constantly focusing on fucking around with different people, contracting different types of sexual health issues, you ain't gonna have time to be creative. You're not gonna have time to want to be more positive and go out and do the right thing, because you are going to be in pain. You're not going to be comfortable. You're going to want to try to get a healing. And sometimes people nowadays don't even take out the time to do that. They feel like, oh, well, I'll just take some Tylenol, keep it a secret, and go spread whatever I have to somebody else. So that is another issue that will hinder your growth and also bring in karma. Like I said in my other video, you can bring in a karmic baby, or which is in other words, a bastard-like child. And I'm not saying all children that do not have a father or both parents in the household are terrible, but a lot of them do come out with some type of issue if it's unbalanced. And I do also know some children that have both parents in the household, but because their parents involved in one of these, dealing with either, like I said, dealing with somebody that sell drugs or alcohol, stealing from people to get alcohol fixes, and all these addictions, most likely the child is going to come out with some type of issue. Okay. All right. Because I was just looking on a news article it was an article showing all the children that were very young that's already being charged as adults for committing heinous crimes. And most of the children stated that when they had to give their testimony, that they came from an abusive household. And some of them grew up being prostitutes, and after a while they just started going down mentally. And that's why they committed, some crimes. All right. And I know this is kind of bunched up at the bottom, but this is just showing being desperate. When you are desperate, that means you do not believe in the person or the entity or your higher power that gave you the gift of the seed to grow and blossom and survive in this planet. With all the challenges, you still got to keep your head up and still have faith in yourself, because if you have faith in yourself, that means it's stronger with your higher power. And if you're sitting up here acting desperate and making low vibrational decisions instead of calming yourself, really meditating on your issue, really speaking out what you would like to have in your life. This is where your affirmation come in at. See, when I tell you to look in the mirror, it's not just about saying, oh, I need to build up my self-esteem, so I am beautiful. Oh, my eyes are this, and oh, my body is that. It's about speaking life into your life. It's about saying the things that you need. I want to be a better, productive person so I can gain prosperity. I want to be wiser in my decisions and strengthen my discernment with the people that I'm working around and the people I invite into my life, especially with the relationships. And this is kind of what goes back into when I mentioned the temperatures with the seed that the seed is in is fluctuating, because it's no consistent temperature, which can hinder the growth. If you're dealing with people, even family members that's switching up and flaky, and sometime in 1 minute they cool with you, the next minute they trying to stab you in your back and take what you have or bury your name under the dirt, those are the people that you need to block out of your life. Because I'm telling you, you only get one good life in this vessel, and then after a while it will expire and your spirit goes on to find another vessel to live in, or it may decide to go back into nature, go back to the Most High, or go live in an animal. But you want to make the best out of this experience, because whatever you leave behind or whatever karma you develop, you will take that energy with you. Oh, trust and believe. You don't, just because you died, does not mean the bad things you did is going to be left behind. You take that shit with you to the whole new life that you're living in. It just may be a different bad experience, okay? So, yeah, just keep that in mind. Be mindful of the choices you make and who you hang around. Because if you let somebody push you to the limit, they will get your ass locked up and they get a chance to walk around free and try to make it seem like you lost your mind when they know they triggered you and tried to push you to the limit. So you got to develop self-control and discernment. That's what you should include in your affirmations instead of repeating the same prayer over and over again. That Our Father prayer. There's more that you can say than that Our Father prayer. There's more that you can say than any Psalms in the Bible. There's a lot more that you can say because, like I said, your tongue, and it states it in the Bible, it has power. Okay? All right. So, and also this ties into being influenced. And this is where the weed and the pests come in at. You're being influenced by television, social media. You're being influenced by music. You're being influenced by your pastor. You're being influenced by your grandparents and your great-grandparents and your other. So everything that you did that developed your culture, all these passed down traditions, you got to determine whether they're serving you, whether they are really helping you grow and be a better person. If you are dealing with the same stuck type of situation, like for me, I can only speak for myself. I felt like religion really benefited me, but it also hindered me at the same time. So I had to step outside of that whole thought process and relearn and rewire myself because I always felt convicted. I felt confined. I felt lost, and I did not get the proper guidance. I don't feel like I had the proper guidance. If it wasn't never for me looking at the way Christ handled a lot of challenges, I think I would have been locked up. So that was the benefit for me, for just trying to be Christ-like, be positive, be honest, so I don't have to worry about being caught up in drama, which that happened anyway, because see, no matter how positive you try to be, like the seed, you're going to be attacked with other low vibrational people that want you to be stuck. All right? So these are the things that we don't want in our life, and we got to work on getting rid of it. I'm talking about those parents that try to tell you how to live your life when they done fucked up all their time on earth and they don't have much time left. Let that mess go. I'm talking about those homeboys that be trying to make you feel like a simp just because you actually want to stop hoeing around and protect your wand. This is for the guys. I'm talking about the females. Instead of y'all trying to follow behind whatever Gorilla and who else? Megan Thee Stallion trying to convince y'all to go get the bag, fuck niggas, and throw all your pussy away because you're draining it, dealing with all types of different type of guys, trying to fulfill a goal and fit in a trend, then you need to leave those ideas behind. All right? Feeling confined to church. You know, the pastor preaching about you ain't giving enough tithing, or you ain't participating enough, and you ain't doing this enough, and you ain't doing that enough. You got one life to live, and you can still be blessed whether you join a church or not. I'm just letting you know. You can still be blessed and still have favor with the Most High, even if you do not congregate in fellowship. Even if you don't try to make yourself shout and shake your wig off, you will still be blessed. The last part I want to leave you with, turn all of this low vibrational stuff into creativity. Use your inner gift, whether you can dance, sing, cook, sew, I don't know, whatever it is that you are creative at doing, that's what your energy should go into. You are less likely to be locked up, less likely to be stuck in a very bad STD situation, less likely to be stuck with an unwanted pregnancy, okay? Self-control, all these C's, remember that. Create, be constructive when you create, and self-control. No, you cannot control what other people do, but you can control whether you want to sit around and listen to the shit they're talking. You cannot control when people gossip about you, but you can control how you can go and be successful and show them how to kiss your ass. You can control your relationship with the Most High, because if you are walking around just fucking up and messing up and destroying the society instead of contributing, I should have added contribute, then you just messed up your relationship with the Most High. You just messed up by putting out energy, and now you got negative energy, and now you got to get back the negative karma from it. So that's the little lesson that I want to share with you. I wish I could have made it a lot shorter, but I had to write it all out, and hopefully you understood kind of where I'm coming from. So I'm getting ready to go plant this mango. I think I'm in the right environment. I'm in Florida, and I'm going to see how well it grow. I'm going to try to keep pictures and keep y'all updated on how it's going. First, I got to make sure it dries out, of course. But until next time, just know that I love you, and I want nothing but the best for you, and peace out.